Hey guys, welcome back to another Scratch tutorial. In this tutorial, I'll be showing you how to make your games feel better. So, right now I have a button, which is, well, just a button. So, now what we want is, so what we are going to do is, first I have this script, which is this. So I'll put it in a forever loop and it looks pretty good. So, I'll set this to 0. So now you can see what happens. This makes your sprite bob up and down. So how I made it is take a plus, put in a multiplication operator, and put in cosine. Take a multiplication operator and put in your cosine. Put multiplied by, let's say, 400, and timer minus this stuff. So what this does is basically your sprite goes up and down. And this is very useful for games to make like people want to click on the button. And so basically what all these values are. So so this 0, it's basically where all of the bouncing is based. So if I set it to 100, it's up there. So the base of position is over here. This 10, you can see, this is basically the amount of distance. It goes up and down. So now if I'll set it to 50, like your button really wants the player to play. So now this is the speed of movement. So now I can make it go really slow with a 10. You can see it's super slow. So you can see. And this timer, what the timer is subtracted with, is just an offset. So that if I have two buttons, I don't want them to like go to the 100. So you can see if I have two of them, I don't want them together. So I just set this to something else. So you can see now they're offsetted. So that's one thing. So you can even set your X to this. So you can set our X here. So now our X is here. And what I like to do is set Y to mouse Y. So now this button, like it really wants us to click on it, but it's still moving around nicely. It looks like it works better with mouse X. So this is one thing. And you can even change your size by this algorithm. Change size by, you can see this. Well, we have to set it at 100. Actually, not change size, we want to set size. So you can see it's smaller and bigger. So now you can play around with these positions. So you can see that's the amount of like how much it increases and decreases. So that's the speed, and this is the offset. So now you can play around with these algorithms to make your games look way better. Because there are these games that just have completely still buttons and they just don't look good. Even I am guilty of this. But after I learned that, I tried to add motion to my buttons in about everything that I make. So I'll give you guys one example. So this game Battle Tanks that I made when I knew about all those algorithms is now you can see it has a lot of motion and it looks really playable. And yes, the gameplay might not be as fun as it looks. Well, like from the title screen, the gameplay to totally is not as fun. So now you can see even these buttons, you can see there's a lot of player feedback making the player know that they're doing something. You can see the buttons, they increase the size. So that's one thing. You guys can play this game. I'll put a link in the description. So that's one. So that was one example. And like if I compare the gameplay of my first game, which was the Flappy Bird, so like it just feels a bit less lively. You can see it's way less lively than Battle Tanks. And that's because there's less motion in the title screen and the buttons. You can see there's a lot of motion in the gameplay, but the lack of motion in the title screen, it usually drives gamers away before they can even play the game. So what you should try to do is focus more on your title screen and make it look good. So that's it for today's tutorial, and goodbye.